Let me introduce the soldering station from Pireg Company, consisting of a soldering iron and hot air gun. It's used for soldering SMD and standard big electronic components when electronics is repaired. It has three custom main features and advantages. The first is the soldering iron tip T12, which gives rapid heating. It takes a few seconds to reach the operating temperature level. It works stable because of a heating model is combined with a thermal sensor and it's located at the end of the tip. It reaches the stable temperature in any mode. The second, it's the hot air gun with the accuracy of 2-3 degrees. It's achieved due to PID temperature regulator. There is a digital regulation of fan speed. You can set the temperature and speed level for comfortable work. There is a quick access to regulate the temperature by turning the changer to the right or to the left. If you turn handle to the right, you can set the fan speed. If we turn it to the left, we can set the iron temperature. The red LED is switched on when a desired temperature is reached. When you switch the station off, the fan starts working at full capacity and it will be cooled down. The third advantage of Pireg soldering station is battery life and compactness. You can see its size comparing with a fan or the soldering iron. It doesn't take up a lot of space. You can take it out. It can work without power supply of 220 volts. And you can turn electricity completely off. There is a built-in battery with a charging controller. You can use the soldering iron during 3 or 4 hours in the intensive soldering mode. Unfortunately, this mode doesn't support working with the hot air gun. The advantage of soldering Pireg station is the iron with a capacity of 75 watts. And also the hot air gun with a capacity of 700 watts. The battery life of the iron in soldering mode is 3 hours. For your convenience, you can set any parameters. It's about minimum maximum temperature range of the iron. There is a variation of steps and 4 thermal profiles for the iron. It's necessary for using the interchangeable tips of different sizes, and each tip is heated up at its own speed. You can use it to set up the iron. There is PID adjustment for the hot air gun. We can set smoothness of heating and airspeed, or adjust temperature level. Also, you are able to correct the temperature of cold welding. T12 soldering iron differs from other devices. There is a possibility to change the tip fast without switching the soldering iron off. You can do it easily. The tip at this point isn't hot and you can take it with your hands. The changing of the soldering tip is over. Heating has been started. You can unplug the soldering iron and hot air gun. There are different connectors between the soldering iron and the fan. The soldering iron has got 5 pins and the fan has got 6 pins. There is no mistaking. It's comfortable during transportation. Everything is demountable and standalone. There is a connector with 220 volts and a power button behind. On connecting to 220 volts, the soldering iron switches to main power supply and the built-in battery starts to charge. When power supply is switched off, the soldering iron starts working from the battery. Let's try Pireg soldering station working with big components. We'll solder a large electrolytic capacitor off, which is installed at a large minus slot. We see that the soldering iron perfectly deals with solder smelting. It works almost instantly. The capacitor is soldered off. From another side, we see a big slot, which is cooling the iron, and the temperature of the iron is keeping stable. Let's show how the hot air gun works. Turn on heating. Set the temperature to 290 degrees. Set the fan speed on 80%. The fan is reaching a soldering temperature. The indicator is turning on and we're able to solder a component off. We'll solder a small SMD component off, adding flux. We see that the temperature is permanent. The component has been soldered off. Now let's solder the component back. The component is at its place. Pireg soldering station created by engineers of service center for engineers of service center. Reliable, easy to use. I use it myself. I take it for field repair works and service center works. I encourage you to have it. Just buy it.